Royal Highness is Thomas Mann's second novel. It was published in 1909. Claus Henrik is not yet a Royal Highness when he is born to the Grand Duke and his wife, because he is the second son and not the hereditary prince of the small German Grand Duchy. In spite of the joy of his birth, the baby's left hand is underdeveloped, smaller and shorter than his right hand. Since the baby's birth is inconvenient, the deformed hand is concealed from view immediately after birth. The boy receives all care and education befitting his situation. That is, he grows up in the rundown grand ducal residence in the capital, cut off from the real world with his youngest sister, Ditlinde. When he was a boy, he often regretted that everyone behaved in a manner that was correct. So he never had the opportunity to learn about the real lives and thoughts of others. In spite of the fact that his teachers and noble mates at the boarding school put up special accommodations to allow him to mix with peers, they never forget to treat him with dignity that he deserves. Henrik enters his adult years, joins the army, and attends university after taking a few liberties with the prince. Raoul Uberbein, the young assistant teacher, relieves the prince's isolation by becoming his friend. As the Grand Duke is traveling around Europe on a study trip, he dies, leaving the throne to his eldest son, Albrecht II. In spite of Albrecht's fragility and dislike of being visible to the public, he asks Heinrich to take on this role after a few years. As a royal highness, Heinrich attends a variety of public events, often leaving him feeling exhausted and empty as time goes on. Suddenly, Emma Spoolman, daughter of the immensely wealthy Samuel Spoolman, arrives and challenges him to question his role in life. Royal Highness portrays the coming of age of a prince who has been raised to serve his people and to show himself to them, but has never found a truly satisfying occupation until he plunges into private studies to comprehend the desperate situation of the impoverished little Grand Duchy nearing ruin. Many characters in the novel are clearly modeled after well known personalities of the author's time, notably German Emperor William II, who had a crippled arm like Claus Heinrich, Empress Sissi of Austria Hungary, who lived for her beauty like Claus Heinrich's mother, and J.P. Morgan, who lent a large amount of money to save his country from bankruptcy, and Mr. Spoolman despite having other motives. The South American, especially Bolivian and partially indigenous grandmother of Emma Spoolman reflects Thomas Mann's own origins. His mother was half Brazilian. Additionally, the novel contains typical elements of the fairy tale and not just the wedding at the end that recalls the phrase, and they lived happily ever after. It is typical of Thomas Mann to write long sentences with a lot of clauses that may not appeal to everyone. Further, he repeats characterizing habits or quirks of a person word for word, particularly with regards to Henrik and Emma. A subtle irony is evident throughout the novel.